It's also
Hello and welcome to my 2025 PAX Unplugged recap. And I introduce you to a few of my indie friends and some projects that they have, as well as just show you around and talk you through what I did while I was at PAX. Look at this guy, so interesting. First off, I stopped at Indie Press Revolution to take a look at all the indie games that they always carry, not just mine. But they had a lot of great stuff this year, and I just continue to adore them and the work that they show off. Next, I headed over to the IDW booth where we played Godzilla. They have an interesting approach to collaborative storytelling here, where the players will have a deck of cards that they interact with, as well as the GM will have a secondary deck of cards that they will interact with. So interesting approach, seems pretty streamlined and easy to understand. We played a one-shot. I'll have some more about that later. Then, of course, the Pirate Board crew, their display and booth was just incredible. Lots of energy, lots of cool stuff going on over there. Then I made my way over to the Hitpoint Press booth so I could meet up with my friend Sebastian.
Hello, my name is Sebastian Yue. I use they, them pronouns. I'm from Hitpoint Press, which is a Canadian RPG publisher. We are best known for the 5e campaign setting Humblewood, where you play forest animals and you fight fires and you uncover necromancy. You can go on all sorts of adventures. We're also known for the Field Guide to Floral Dragons, which is a compendium of dragons imbued with the essence of flowers. And most recently, we are doing Shift, which is an indie game. You play it with D4 through D12, so we don't use the D20. It recently closed on Kickstarter, and it will be out very soon. It's appropriate for a GM and as many players as they are willing to run for. We've also seen people adapting it for solo rules, even though it is not necessarily designed for that. Because of the way that information is shared, the GM can share encounters and encounter stat blocks with the players. So it actually makes for a very good solo experience. But you can, I would say, anywhere from 1 to 8. So the game gets its name from a shifting dice mechanic. You can see here that the D4 is actually the best die and the D12 is the worst die because the D4 has the highest odds of success. You succeed whenever you roll a 1, 2, or 3 on a die of any size. If you roll the highest number on a die, then it shifts down to the next worst one. So if I roll a 4 and a D4, then the next time I'll be rolling with a D6. Dice are the only physical tools that are used, but they're mainly for resolution. We also have a system with traits and keywords, and so if you try to do something that is that has a keyword, that it's like your specialty, essentially. But if you attempt to do an action when you don't have a keyword that applies, then the roll will be risky, which means that you will, any failure will be a critical failure, and you will shift down on that. It does not require a map. It is very narrative forward, and the keywords are open to interpretation. So you could have a keyword that is very broad. So if I say that I have a flight ability, I can say flight, and anything related to that. It could be flight navigation, it could be flight, physically moving, it could be construct a flight of stairs if I make the case to the GM. You can tell absolutely any story because Shift itself is a system. It is setting agnostic, and we do have settings that will be in the book. We have the kind of sci-fi western, romance, horror, fantasy, and superhero. The superhero one is really cool. It's written by Gail Simone. The romance one is written by Alex Roberts. We got writers who are specialists in their genre to write, and they're all really amazing. The romance one in particular is really interesting because social interaction than it is about combat, and because Shift is set up so that you have adversaries instead of monsters, and so the adversary for the romance setting is the rumor mill, which is an intangible thing, but there are interactions that you can have with it, and your whole thing is to be, how scandalous are you, and to fend off rumors about your character. It is super easy to design custom settings with Shift. In fact, we run a game jam in the Shift Discord every month where you design a world spot, which is our settings. You need a location, you need some custom traits because all of the player abilities are dependent on the setting. So it is designed for you to do a custom setting. And if you go to rpgshift.com/Discord, then you can come in and see what it's all about. It's very easy. You don't need a lot of prep. We've been running introductory games, and you can get playing the game. You roll your first die 20 minutes into the session. Very deadly once you shift down your first die, because it's set up so that you succeed a lot at the beginning, and you can, if you're not careful about managing your stats and your resources, it can very easily become a death spiral, but it doesn't have to, because there are ways for you to shift your dice back up. But if you want to play a game where the stakes are very high, it lends itself very well to that kind of story. So my experience has been with one-shots, but you can very easily do a campaign. It is versatile and flexible, and it is good for both campaigns and one-shots. I say that because character advancements are not earned by leveling, they're earned by gaining XP, which you can spend to add new keywords to your sheet. You can spend them on different roles, because there isn't a set endpoint necessarily, because you don't like hit level 20 and then cap out. You can keep doing this, and you can keep developing your character for as long as you like. And there is also something exciting about gaining a new keyword from within a session, and so like you can still get that growth regardless of how long your game is. It is currently on pre-order. You can find it on Kickstarter, Shift RPG, and if you back, you will gain access immediately to the beta rules PDF. So you'll be able to get the rules of the entire game and be able to start playing, and the full PDF will be out later. And this is the book. It will be this thickness. You have a lot to look forward to. Humblewood is a 5e campaign setting wherein you play forest creatures on an adventure to discover the source of the forest fires. There's a lot of themes of climate change, there's a lot of themes of community and compassion, and of course, because it is 5e, you have the option to fight monsters, uncover necromancy, and there is a big boss fight at the end, of course. Humblewood is perfect for you if you love Redwall, if you love Watership Down, if you love The Secret of Nim, if you love The Wind in the Willows. We get a lot of furries who play Humblewood. It's a good reason to play an animal character. Humblewood is very child-friendly. We've had stories of people playing it with their families. Parents will teach it to their kids and use it to be their introduction to D&D and to role-playing games. You can pick up Humblewood at hitpointpress.com. We have the Humblewood campaign setting. We have a sequel, Humblewood Tales, which is an adventure anthology. We also have PDF versions of this adventure. This is Shock and Stormcrag. It was our free RPG adventure, and it is a one-shot, self-contained for one session. We also have an upcoming sequel, Humblewood Beyond the Canopy, which will be releasing next year.
Then we walked the floor some more, taking in all the space. We popped by and saw Elliot, creator of The Time We Have, and he was setting up this incredible display of the beautiful cards the game has. Then we stopped over by Possible Worlds booth, and I really wanted to get an interview with Tyler, and unfortunately our schedules just didn't align. But he has some incredible stuff coming up, including something with that little figure right there that I can't wait until it's in the world, because it sounds so much fun.
Hey there, I'm Spencer Campbell of Gila RPGs. I've been a game designer for the RPG space for about 5 years. I'm probably most well known for Slayers, Rune, and the Lumen system, which is a rule system I created about 4 years ago to recreate the idea of exciting looter shooter video games and bringing them to the tabletop. Let me tell you about Dragon Slayers. This is the newest game that I just released, literally hot off the presses right now, premiering at PAX. Dragon Slayers is a heroic or high fantasy game. The thing that's special about it is every class has their own unique rule set. So it's very asymmetrical. For example, the bard is trying to get strings of numbers that all match up to like notes in a song, while a barbarian has a growing pool of dice as they get beat up to show them getting more and more powerful. I'm really proud of this game. It looks beautiful. The artist is here as well, the graphic designer. He did an incredible job with this game. Absolutely excited to talk about it. So Slayers is a game that I released a few years ago. It's one of my favorite games that I've ever released. It is a monster hunting game in a cursed city. So the city forever expands into the horizon, and you're hunting monsters as the city expands. Similar to Dragon Slayers, which I mentioned earlier, this game is all about asymmetric classes. So every class has their own rule set as you go out hunting monsters. The thing about Slayers is I've had so many people come up to my booth and say, do you have a duet game, or do you have ways of playing this with 2 players? And I never had a good answer for them until now. And now I have the Slayers duet rule set. This is an optional rule set that helps you play the game with 1 GM and 1 player. And now, if you can't get that group together, or you want to introduce a special someone to role-playing games, this is a great way to do it. So I want to talk to you about Rune and all the games that are going on over here. These are my solo games. The thing that makes these solo games a little bit special is that they're more like a board game rather than a solo journaling game. Rune in particular is a game that is an homage to the Souls-like genre. So if you're a fan of games like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, you're going to be right at home with Rune. The way the game works is that you explore these realms through a point crawl map, and then you dive into some really tactical and extremely deadly combat. You're gonna die over and over again. You're gonna learn to get better and better until you take on the boss and get cool loot along the way. As I was making Rune, I've been making more stuff for it. Like I said, it is a solo game, but I did create a duet rule set for it. So if you have a friend that you want to bring along with you during the game, the Rune duet rules are going to help you with that. Dolarastu is an extra realm, a new world for you to explore in Rune. This is my homage to my chronic pain disorder, and so this is a way for me to explore that in the Rune game. The last thing I want to mention is Reap, which is sort of a spiritual successor to Rune. Rather than the dark, weird fantasy of Rune, this is all necromancer themed. So now you're a really cool necromancer ripping out blood, bone, and body parts and using them to enhance your spells as you again similarly move around a point crawl map and dive into that tactical combat.
Hi there, I'm Scott Slater, small game designer from Connecticut here at Pax. Enjoying the day, and we're selling our game, Pigeons 11, which is the tagline, "Be birds, do crimes." I could tell you more about it, but you already know about 75% of it. So this is a game, when we were developing it, we knew that, some people come from the RPG space, so we have RPG enthusiasts who are interested, but we also have people that are interested in birds. Wingspan's a very popular game. We love birds, but then there are other people who are crime enthusiasts, and we don't really want them to indulge in their activities, so we made that for them too, so they can do heists without having to get arrested. Any age, like kind of 8 and up, I would say is good for this. Anybody who likes like kind of a cartoonish bird, kind of madcap adventure. This is sort of optimized for one-shots, but there are, like you can play the same birds over a couple of things. There's no real advancement, but the birds have different advantages that they have. They bring their bird powers from the bird world as well as their crime specialties from the crime world in order to, mix and match and be ready for trying to get the next excellent piece of food. This is a great game for beginners. The polymorph engine this is run on have one single die that represents you. You get to roll that thing very streamlined. You make characters really fast, and they're very memorable. We've got a couple of pre-gens in the back here. Waffles the turkey. We've got Ruby Smalls, who is our little hummingbird. We've got Jimmy Talon. So we've got a bunch of different kind of bird gangsters that you could be, or you could make your own. You're a bird in the real humans world, but it doesn't matter that you're a bird until you kind of stress out, and then you have to act like a bird for a while, and then everybody realizes you're a bird. Sort of like that old cartoon Chicken Boo, which might be a reference that nobody gets, but I hope you do. So people can find this online at the 9th Level Games website. You can find this PDF format if you prefer to work off of a laptop or something like that. Or you can come find us at any of the major conventions. We'll have books there, and happy to sell them.
Hi, my name's Tyler. I am 1/3 of Gossamer Coast. We're a local Philadelphia game design group. I am the lead designer and writer on Hinterlight, the game that we're currently kickstarting. It is a collaborative world-building game where you and 3 to 5 friends get together and cast a ritual to build the Gothic fairy otherworld where your characters died, and build the castle full of noble fairies that are resurrecting you and binding you into their service. It is a 3 to 4 hour-ish ritual that is easily transferable into future play, and the full book on Kickstarter will include a lot of GM tools to make campaign play easy to prep for, and also a simple system based on +1 EXPs together we go. So as far as media inspirations, we have quite a few of them. I would say the main one for us is the Gorman Gas series by Mervyn Peak. Hinterlight's tone is ludicrously gloomy, and that is sort of an energy we first captured reading those books and wanted to bring into a gaming space. I'd say also, the books of Shelley and Poe.
We watched Crimson Peak kind of recently.
That one, yeah,
And
that was a very good one.
Deliciously weird and really gets you in that spirit of like being in a weird castle as this outsider who like doesn't belong and having to meddle your way through that.
Yeah, like the thing about Gothic fiction to me that I love is these places that are metaphorically and then literally haunted by the past. And that is something that Crimson Peak does very well, and we want Hinterlight to make sure like every table that plays this game can feel that sort of impossible haunted feeling.
I am finally checking in. I have not made a video about myself or said hello yet. Today is Saturday. Yesterday was crazy. It was Friday. It was the first day of PAX. I've been here in Philadelphia since Thursday evening. Went to a really fun industry party Thursday evening and met with a ton of folks. And yesterday I had a great day. I walked the floor. I met a ton of people that I haven't seen in years, and I played some really great games, including Godzilla. Yes, officially licensed Godzilla by IDW Games. I also played Blood on the Clock Tower, which for the first time, which I really enjoyed, and I am kind of addicted. I want to play a lot more of that game, to be sure. I've always been a fan of social deduction games and deception games. I am playing in a mega game tonight, so it'll be 5-6 hours, something like that, with 60 people, and I'm a little nervous. Kaya's amazing and is in a ton of different things, and she played in a similar game yesterday, and she's on my team tonight. So I think I'm in good hands as far as having people there to, just keep me motivated, keep me excited, and not feeling out of the loop. So I think we're gonna have a great time. I played Crokinole and enjoyed it so much. I joined the local Crokinole Facebook group for my area. I like PAX Unplugged a lot better than Gen Con. There's room to breathe. I am masking most of the time I'm here. Right now there's a few people walking by me, but otherwise I feel pretty safe compared to at Gen Con. I feel like I can't get any time away from anybody without being right on top of people. But overall, so far having a great time, and I'm bummed that I already know I can't come back next year due to some scheduling conflicts, but it's been really great seeing everyone.
Right after this interview, I had the opportunity to interview Keith Ahmad, which you'll have to wait until I actually post that video to see it in full. And then, of course, I had to wander around again and find some more games by folks I know, folks I don't, and just see all the cool stuff here at PAX.
Hi, I'm Sarah X Franco. I'm with One EXP. We're a weird little indie brand that makes weird games, and we do cool stuff. This is the year of making hard moves. We have this little zine with Aaron King that talks about how to make hard moves. Inside, it's got different moves like first playbook or how to write your own hard moves for existing in a world where GMs aren't going hard enough. We also have Chain Link, in which you are rebel leaders that have been taken over, or they're captured, working against the crown. And in this game, you're trying to work together in order to overthrow, gain control for your specific faction and overcome the bonds of tyranny. Very cool. The art is fantastic. You like games about weird little guys and you just want to be a weird little guy, we have Pale Dot. In this, you play cosmonaut exploring the worlds beyond space. It's fantastical, surreal, very unlike humanity's own ventures into space. It's wonderful. 2 to 5 players, and you just get to be weird little guys wondering what's beyond the stars and feeling a little bit of existential dread while you're at it.
Next, I hit up the small publisher meetup, like the independent publisher meetup, and with Kaya, and met a few people there that I enjoy hanging out with online, so that was great. Then I also wanted to draw attention to all of the escalators more than once. We got freaking lost in this building, and we had people late to the games we had scheduled with them because they were late. Also played a game of Things and Rings, incredible economy game that I can't remember the name of, but it was like the best experience ever. Then of course had to stop by the Free League booth and take in everything there. I was strong, didn't buy anything this time, but and then this Peter Pan, I don't know, something about it bothered me. We played a virtual reality game, that was fine, and then it was time to say goodbye and pack up the room and, you know, hop on a plane and leave the city. All in all, really enjoyed it. Glad we went. Sad again that I can't go next year. And yeah, I hope you check out some of the games and people that I spotlighted in this video, because everything that I talk about or that I show I think is really neat. And of course, this video wouldn't be complete without a haul, so there is everything that I brought home. Yes, one too many things, way too many things, some might say, but I have already played and touched and read through a lot of it, so I, you know, feel accomplished.